Hey, you just caught me having tea in my tiny house. Last night, my friend came over and I had a slumber party, and it was a really good time. Well, it was just her and I, but we had um, we had a really good time, and this is what happens in a tiny house slumber party. I've never really had these before, but I don't really have the space to have a slumber party. But I mean, it's only her and I anyway. But we ended up sleeping in the same bed because I don't have, a large, I mean, I guess she could have slept in the tea room. I was fine with her sleeping in the same bed because we're close friends. I made a vegan dinner last night, and it was delicious. And it was rice and a stir fry with carrots and broccoli and onions, but it was really good. And then Bragg seasoning in it. We had a delicious dinner, and then we came up here after dinner and we did some vibrational healing things. And I have this guy that I like to listen to a lot who is a didgeridoo artist, and he is from Australia. And his name is David Hudson. If you don't know him, you might want to look him up if you like didgeridoo. He's fantastic, and he has these fantastic songs. Frog Dreaming is really good. I had her listen to that one last night. I really wanted her to listen to Free Radicals because Free Radicals is a really cool one. And Air Cave, that's also really cool. And I had her listen to this didgeridoo music, and she kind of felt like she needed some healing. It's like she had this thing in her throat where it was like really stuck. And we did some healing on her throat, and I have a lot of crystals, and I put, I don't even know what this one's called, but this one's really cool. And this one's really good for your throat chakra because it it it's blue. Blue is a really good throat chakra one. And blue kind of helps, it just vibrates well to that chakra so that it helps open it up and facilitate any healing that you might have, that you might need. And then I used my tuning forks, and I also did some ohms over her neck. Like I actually did the ohms over her neck, which was really cool. You could call it a spiritual slumber party. Listened to the didgeridoo, and we enjoyed just talking about crystals. And I have this really great book. A lot of people know about this book. This is it right here. Love is in the Earth, and it is a great book. It has all these different crystal descriptions and the properties, like what it means, what they mean, and why you should use them for particular things. We were just talking about Delphi, and Delphi is Delphi. Most people call it Delphi, but Delphi is how it's said in Greece. And I have like a book on it. And I have been to Delphi. I actually got this there. And I really, such a fantastic place. And we're talking about the energy of the place, and how even though, the magic, I guess, is gone from that place a long time ago, it still has this feeling about it. And it was a spiritual center for a very long time, from like 500 BC to, I don't know, 580 or something. It was around for a really long time, and a spiritual center of the Mediterranean, if you know this. It was really great. And one of the really fantastic things. And I was on somebody else's, I made this comment on somebody else's channel. Frank James, by the way, he is an INFJ and I am an INFJ. Anywho, I was talking about one of the things that, or the thing is said on the Temple of Apollo and Delphi, which is know thyself. And I really feel like that's something that kind of transcends our evolutions on this planet, or our evolution on this planet as humans. And I really feel like it helps facilitate the experiences that we're having if we constantly are trying to answer that question, to know thyself, and challenges us to really understand what that really means, because that's, in a nutshell, I believe, why we are here. And this really resonates with me anyway. It really, really, really resonates with me. Let's see. What else did we do? Oh, we watched a movie, and it was a great movie. It's a chick flick. You probably won't know about it, but you never know. You might know about it. It is called the Kama Sutra, and it's been about 20 years since it's been out, and it's a great movie, and it's about this girl and how she kind of goes through life and how she learns about love and what the Kama Sutra has taught her. And she becomes a consort for a king, and her cousin relative is the queen of, the queen with the king, and that was just really an interesting dichotomy between the two, and how the queen was jealous of the consort, and how that really kind of came down. It's just I like that movie, and I've always liked it. It's one of my favorite movies, and she loved it. And that was fantastic. We didn't go to sleep until like 2 or something, but she left early because she had classes. She's going to school for massage therapy, so she went and left early this morning. So that would have been nice to have breakfast with her, but it just didn't happen. So that's what happens at a tiny house slumber party, and it's a good time. And I hope to do it with her again, and I think we will, because she had a really good time, and she likes coming here, and I think a lot of people like coming here because it is really peaceful and really good energy. And I have a lot of Shakti in my house, so a lot of like female goddess energy, and I think it's really apparent when you first walk inside, and everybody notices it. And if they don't notice the actual energy, because maybe they're not that empathic, they'll notice the vibration of, or the smell. I mean, they'll notice the smell. And I always have some sort of smell in the air, and it's because I burn fantastic incense. And I was burning kefi last night. I was burning copal, actually ancient Mayan jaguar, this really great combination of copal and other things. I don't know exactly what's in there. And that, that just kind of permeates my house, and that energy is noticeable with everyone that comes in the house. It's noticeable, and that's what I like to surround myself with. And that's one thing that I noticed, is that I have to just really protect myself, because being an INFJ, I'm really empathic, and I have a hard time being with other people. Well, actually, they wouldn't know it. I mean, I for the most part, I'm really open and understanding of other people, and they wouldn't know that I have a hard time being around them, really. But being an INFJ, I am open to negative energies from other people. So I try to stay away from negative people. And now more than ever, because I feel like I've had a lot of negative energy in my life lately, and I have to distance myself from some people because it just drains me. And I have to get away. I have to get away. And this is my sanctuary. And this is where I come to get away from negative energies and revive myself, restore myself to normal energies so that I can go back out in the world and then, be around people again. And it keeps me healthy, because if I let myself get drained by other people, then it's just, downward spiral. But I don't, I make, I'm alone so often that I really don't let myself get that way. I don't let myself get that way. So the my energy and my spiritual progress is really important to me. I feel like letting negative people around you just drains you and stops you from progressing in a way. But at the same time, sometimes they can be your sadhana, if I'm saying that correctly. But sadhana is like a thing that is your exercise, and it helps you to, I mean, if we were never faced with any negative energy, we never would understand what positive is. And so I feel like we have to go through these trials and tribulations in order to really understand what it's like to be happy and have a great life, and what you have to do to facilitate having a great life. And if that means trying your best to stay away from negative people and people who are just always trying to pull you down. I mean, and they're not intentionally trying to pull you down. Well, some people are intentionally trying to pull you down, and you really must avoid those people if you can. But I've been with narcissists, and it's, that's the worst of all. But I can spot them a mile away, and now anyway, and I'm even noticing it in little comments among couples and other people. Like, I'll hear someone say something to someone else, and I'll just be like, whoa, and notice that negative energy, that narcissistic behavior. And so I try my best to just stay away from that. If I see that, I'm just like, that person is not my friend, because they will use anyone they can to suck off of and be their narcissistic food. I've binged watched narcissistic videos recently, so I feel like I know a lot about this. I've just educated myself. I'm always self-educating, and because I want to become a better and better and better person, and that's how I stay really, stay as positive as I can, and live the most great life that I possibly can. And that's surrounding myself with really positive people. And that slumber party last night was fantastic, because Jen recharges my energy. She really takes and kind of makes me happy and always is positive and always has so much light, and it's someone I can really be around. She's one of the people that like vibrate with me, you know, at my level, and we can have great discussions, you know, philosophical and spiritual discussions, and it is a great time. And that's why, you know, I'm not just going to have anybody for my slumber party, my tiny house slumber party. You know, I'm going to have someone that is has great energy, and that's the kind of person I want to be around me. Yeah. So that's what happens at a tiny house slumber party, and how I keep my vibration up, and how I'm really happy.